moral information, a knowledge of self.
We must work passionately and unrelentingly for first-class citizenship.
For instance, if the average so-called Negro, he doesn't think that he can go into business and provide jobs for himself.
We've got to get smart. We've got to organize.
And because of this, he thinks that he can only get a job from the white man, or he can only get clothes from the white man, or he can only get food from the white man.
We've got to organize so effectively and so well and engage in such powerful creative protest that there will not be a power in the world that can stop us.
We gotta be proud to be black. Don't worry about what they say. We gotta think smarter and live smarter. We gotta want more and work harder, cause they ain't giving it to us. Put your all
And the only way we're ready.
It kind of faded out a little early, John. It did a little thing, went down real low. Oh, okay. Hotep, which means peace. Welcome to Satora's Black History Corner internet program at allpointstv.com. I am your host, Catherine Hunter Williams, along with my co-host, Miss Catherine Blake.
Hello, everybody.
Sometimes call her Miss B, so you'll know who I'm talking about. All right, moving forward and passing it on. Today, Miss B will conclude our story about the speech written by Fredrick Douglas regarding the celebration of the 4th of July and the 15th Amendment of why we have the right to vote. That's my phone, ain't it? Lord, it'll go off. I hope it's not being picked up. Is it being picked up, John? I'm sorry. I had company all weekend, too, from out of town, and I don't know. Okay, let's get it on, Miss B. Let me turn while you getting it on.
Okay.
Starting that off.
Well, I will read again Fredrick Douglass's words about the Independence Day, the 4th of July. Certainly didn't free any slaves. What about Emancipation Day? When scenes like this shows people working so hard and babies tagging along and stay so thin. In 1882, Fredrick Douglass, who himself had been enslaved, wrote, "Though slavery was abolished, the wrongs of my people were not ended. Though they were slaves, they were not yet quite free. No man can truly free whose liberty is dependent upon the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions of others, and who has himself no means in his own hands for guarding, protecting, defending, and maintaining that liberty. Yet the Negro, as they were called back in those days, after his emancipation was precisely in this state of destitution. He was free from the individual slave master, but the slave of society." And I hope everybody understands what that means. The slave of society. He had neither money, no property, nor friends. He was free from the old plantation, but he had nothing but the dusty road under his feet. He was free from the old quarters that once gave him shelter, but a slave to the rains of summer and the frost of winter. He was, in the word, literally turned loose, naked, hungry, and destitute to the open sky. And today, I want to bring your memory back to something that happened just last Wednesday.
Can I add a little bit more to Fredrick Douglass before you get off into the 4th of July? Is that all you're going to say about him and his speech?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, no, well, no, not really.
Okay.
I got plenty more I was going to bring up.
Okay. This comes from a part of his speech, part of Fredrick Douglass.
It's very long.
I know, but this is not.
This is the short. Mm-hmm.
Short version. I just wanted to add on because I said, oh, we got time, you know.
Okay.
Okay, this comes from part of Fredrick Douglas' 4th of July speech, which was written on July 5th in 1852 in Rochester, New York. Mm-hmm. This is what he says. My business, if I have any here today, is with the present. And that's what we're here for today, the present. Not last year, yesterday. We're here for today of things that's going on, that's happening today. The accepted time with God and his cause is the ever-living now. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. Act in the living presence today. Heart within and God overhead. We have to do with the past only as we can make it useful to the present and to the future. To all inspiring motives, to noble deeds which can be gained from the past, we are welcome. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. Okay, this was written at the end of that speech that Catherine is going to speak a little bit more about. It says, Godspeed the year of Jubilee, the wide world o'er. That's O with apostrophe ER, you know, because they spoke a lot in broken English. Fredrick Douglas spoke some pretty good English. When from their galling chains set free, the oppressed shall vilely bend the knee, and wear the yoke of tyranny like brutes no more. This year will come and freedom's ring, to man his plundered right again restored. Godspeed the day when human blood shall cease to flow, in every clime be understood the claims of human brotherhood, and each return for evil good, not blow for blow. That day will come, all feuds to end, and change into a faithful friend, each foe. That was written at the end of Fredrick Douglas' speech that Miss B is going to talk to you more about on July 5th, 1852 in Rochester, New York. Because what he was talking about actually is still happening today. We're just not slaves.
Right. And it's a shame to say, but July 4th, 1776, while Americans were celebrating their independence, black people were still being beaten, raped, and tortured. While the bombs burst in the air, Africans would still be enslaved for most.
That's that July 4th flag, John, picture.
For more than over 100 years. It's really hurting, because right to this day, like you said, act in the living present, and we are acting in the living present. We must learn our history, and we must teach our children our history. And a lot of adults I am seeing need to know their history.
Thank you. Our story, not his story.
Our story.
His story is whitewashed. Our story, we tell the truth about it.
Right.
It's our story, and we have a story. I don't care what nobody say, we got a story.
Well, there are those that say, yes, we are all Americans. Yes, we all, and all lives matter. Yes, all lives do matter. But black people's lives have not mattered in so many years. And I don't find nothing wrong.
I would say centuries.
Centuries,
Since the first black African was brought here, our lives have not mattered.
And they still don't matter today. And that's why black people in a unified form saying Black Lives Matter is relevant. It is key. It is important. Because if we don't say Black Lives Matter, who is going to say it?
Nobody, because number one, since they started the Black Lives Matter, shouldn't it be all lives matter? They have been attacking that movement. I just say about that movement, I feel they need to be a little bit more, and I'm talking about the Black Lives Matters movement, more organized. I mean, why would you get in the street and stop traffic from coming? I don't get that. And they don't want to listen to the elders. You know, but a wise young person will listen to their elders because we've been here before. They don't want to listen to us. But the way to really make change, and I'm going to repeat it at the end, is to get y'all butts out and vote. Get those people, those police chiefs that's over those policemen that's killing black people.
That's right.
Killing Hispanic people. Killing people, period. Get them out to, vote them out. And change the laws. Federally, statewide, and locally. That's the only way, and there's gonna be a lasting change. But getting out and protesting and walking in the street, I mean, you know, y'all do what y'all gotta do because it's always the young people that rise. But y'all need to listen to some of these elders out here. Listen to what we're trying to tell y'all to do because it is a way to protest, but do it with organization.
Well,
be organized.
Since you mentioned voting, which we have such a important election that's coming up.
Oh, we do on August the 2nd.
Well, not only
Next
the
week.
presidential, but there's commissioners, there's sheriffs.
That's local.
That all over.
Yeah, but
those
it's
elections
still local.
Right.
You know, in your city. Okay.
You
the
have to
national
vote.
is in November.
That's
we're going to bring
November.
that up each time we hear until November.
Okay.
Because it's very important. That's that Donald Trump, David Duke deal, and Hillary Clinton. I mean, you know.
Well, since we're on that, I wanted to give you a little history about the Republican Party and the Democratic Party that you probably didn't know how black people was used back then. Okay. Now this is African Americans and the 15th Amendment.
I wanted you to see this because you was bringing that up about this was supposed to have been the conclusion of.
Oh, you want to go in that now?
Well, you done got onto the 15th Amendment, but it's, you know, this is what we was why not celebrate 4th of July?
Okay.
And this is like it's just 7 ways.
Oh, there's more. There's a lot more.
There's a lot more,
Yeah.
but we don't have that time to do all that.
Because I got the one with 23 actions that are punishable by death if you're a black American. And that's the 7 ways
This
black
is
people
7 ways,
still
but if you-
aren't free in America in 2016.
If you read it all, it's going to take time.
Yeah, it's
So
it's
know,
online.
You might just want to just read the headline and not go
Okay.
into the explanation.
Okay.
So we can conclude this here. Why not?
Okay.
Why do we celebrate the 4th of July? And the speech about from Fredrick Douglas of why should at that time Negroes
Absolutely.
celebrate, and this stuff is still going on today.
Well, one of the most important pieces is that black people are imprisoned in exceptionally high numbers. Black people are more likely to be arrested for non-violent offenses, and they're given a lot of time for that too. Black people are more likely to be sentenced to death for crimes against white people. Black people are less likely to be judged by a jury of their peers in criminal trials.
And by everybody else. I be hearing Mexicans talk about black people real bad, which would be amazing me. But all the other races, I mean, you know, they put us all down. They put all blacks down.
Hispanics are in the same boat too, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah.
Black people are more likely to be disciplined in school than their white peers. Each day, 500,000 people fill Americans' jails awaiting trials because they are too poor to afford bail, and most of them are what color? Black.
Black people are still being killed today. Black people are still being lynched today. They're killing children today. We have several reasons.
Absolutely.
Several reasons to
Even
not.
black men who do not have criminal records are less likely to be hired for jobs than white men who've been convicted of felonies. And that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
Now, John, the last program, because I'm going to bring you into this conversation, John, because you sent me a an email with, because Miss B had talked about white privilege. And you sent me an email about this is black privilege to me. Do you recall sending me that?
I sent you the one. I can remember sending you that meme about the blacks and the whites and who are killed by cops, and there's still black whites still get killed higher ratio than blacks by cops.
That's because it's. I'm gonna let Miss Catherine explain. There are more whites are being killed by policemen than blacks.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No, yes, it is
No,
happening,
because
but there's a reason why.
the ratio is different. Black people only make up 19%. The white people, they are the majority. So when you've got 50% of black people being murdered by police, and you only 19% of it,
15% of the population, 50% of the population of blacks are getting killed by cops.
There's only 19%. It doesn't equal out. It doesn't equal out.
50% of the black population in the United States are being killed by police. That's what you're saying.
I can't hear what he said.
50% of black people are being killed by white police. Is that what you said, John?
Yeah, that's what I said. Are you saying? We got to clarify.
He said, "Are you saying?" He wants to clarify.
Yeah, because I want to clarify. Are you saying that not 50% of all people killed by cops are black, or 50% of the black population?
I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in.
I just want to clarify that, because I don't want to give out information.
Because I got the numbers. I don't have that with me now, but I read it and I do have it. And it said that there were the ratio, because that's been brought up before.
Yeah.
And the ratio was totally off the wall, because black people only make up 19%, but it's still 50% of them that is being killed.
It's 50% of black people are being killed. Wait now.
I'll bring the numbers in.
Yeah, because 50%, that's half our people you're saying being killed.
But we only make up 19%.
I'm saying of our people.
Right, of our people.
You say 50% of our people are being killed. That's, you saying half
of the people being killed are black.
Maybe I'm not understanding.
Okay, out of 19, you got a small ratio.
Okay, so 19% of the people, 50% of those 19%.
No. Out of the whole ratio, okay. Black people make up more people that are being killed than any other race.
Okay, but I'm trying to get this clear in my mind, because are you saying we make up 19% of America?
Right.
Okay, and you're saying that 50% of black people are being killed. That's 50% of 19%?
No.
Then clarify it for me.
No, it's the whole ratio of people being killed. 50% of them.
Are you saying that the whole ratio
that's
of all
including
the
white,
people?
Hispanic, Chinese, all of them?
Now, that's clarifying it for me, because I was thinking you were saying 50, but see, I be a little dumb sometimes.
No.
I thought you was talking about 50% of the 19%.
No.
Okay, but you talking about the
whole ratio
of all the people that live in America.
And you can't compare that with saying that more white people are being killed, because it's not.
Okay, and ask her too.
It's not.
Now ask her if these officers are all white, or if there's a mixture of whites and blacks that are killing black folks during these stops.
Oh, I can answer that one. It's a mixture, but the majority is white.
White officers, right?
He asked the question of how many is it? Only white officers killing black people, or is it white? Other white?
It's mainly white. It's mainly white officers.
The majority is white. Okay, now you can tell John about this one that happened last week about the man that was on the thing.
All right, now this man was shot for no reason, and I'm pretty sure you saw this one last Wednesday.
They are always shot.
The one in Florida.
Hold up.
The one in Florida. The one of the guy laying on his hand.
You're right.
Yeah, that was totally. Yeah, and then their explanation for the guy. Cops said, "Oh, we weren't mean to shoot at him. We were shooting at the other guy."
Why would you try to shoot somebody that's autistic?
Right. Yeah, believe me, that one caused outrage amongst everybody.
That was the most ridiculous.
Well, the policeman said he didn't know why he shot.
Don't know why he shot him.
Yeah, it's just like that was like.
And then handcuffed the guy.
Yeah, and then left him to bleed a little bit. He was bleeding like 20 minutes before he got help. Yeah, he bled out.
Right.
He bled for 20 minutes.
And why did they do that? Solely because it's the racist attitude.
I think I'm gonna say this, and this is a little my opinion.
He didn't even apologize.
My opinion is, this is my opinion, and they say everybody got one, but I feel it's just some bad cops that's up in there that are extremely racist. And I think that the police that's in there also is some good cops.
Yeah, there are some good ones.
To bring out who those bad ones is. Because they got this no snitch, like out here in the street, don't tell.
Right.
But I feel that they should also tell about the bad cops. Because I know they talk.
Yeah, they talk. They know. They know each other.
They've been called bad, certain words by these white cops.
Well,
they know each other.
I was going to say, there's good cops out there, and all these black cops are out there, and they say nothing. So these good cops are not all that good, in my opinion. Because, I mean, they should say, not rat them out, but when they have to face the music, not the cover for the bad ones.
Not the cover.
Right.
Because when that man got shot that was running, he got shot in the back, and this other cop put the gun there, but it was a black cop there, too. So that's a cover-up. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all remember that shooting.
Yes, I do.
You know, he was running. He just took off running, and they shot him in the back, policeman. Well, they showed them putting the gun down, showing that policeman put the gun down, and showed the black cop there, too. So it's not just a black...
No, it's not.
White thing. It's black cops, too.
Yeah, there are some.
And in South Africa, they used to take them and put them in tires when apartheid was really going on. Because something in their mind, they... keep us apart, bind us apart. There's a book out by Nicholas Guyette called Bind Us Apart. And it's a good book. It's a very interesting book, okay? But if you got it, you'll see the segregation, how the history of segregation came about. But in South Africa, they used to would put them in a tire. Black policemen, put him in a tire, put some lighter fluid on them and set them on fire. Being burned in the tire, they had a name for it, I can't think of it now. But being burned in a tire, rubber.
It's called necklacing.
Huh?
It's called necklacing. They put the tire around and they pour gasoline in the space around that, and then they light it. Yeah, it's called necklacing.
Well, that's not the word I heard. It's another word I heard.
Because my brother was in South Africa when a lot of that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he remembers hearing about that and seeing it.
Rubber burns real slowly.
Yeah, and when you got gasoline, plus it's sticking to you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so far, praise the Lord that's not really happening here. But there is some retaliation going on.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. I'm telling y'all, got to change these laws federally, statewide, and locally, and get your butts out. Young people, get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
Y'all went out strong and heavily for Obama and got him in office not one time, but 2 times. Don't tell me y'all can't make a change.
As many people as there are that are involved in the Black Matters or All Matters or White Matters, whatever movement you're in, get out there and vote and show that you're definitely in the movement. Convince everyone to vote. Voting is so important, and you didn't always have the right to vote. And when you learn your history about how black people, black men and women got the right to vote, then it's your responsibility to get out there and do something.
And if you see some young people out there that just turned 18 and they haven't registered to vote, take them. Get them registered. See, I know what y'all young people can do. I've seen what y'all did in the Obama race.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just talking about blacks. I'm talking about all y'all young people, because it was not just blacks that got Obama as president. Like I said, not 1 time, but 2 times. It was all y'all young people that came out and put y'all votes together and made it count.
Absolutely.
You can do the same thing here. these organizations that's out here protesting organize and come together and change the laws. Now that's my opinion, and I know that it works because Martin did it. That's how we got the Civil Rights Voting Act, the Civil Liberties, all of that back in the 60s.
And how long did it take to get to there?
Again, we had the right. It's right there in the
In the
15th Amendment. Is it 15th, 14th,
the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment?
And then they did
But that was only for black men. That was not for...
I know. But then Reconstruction came along,
Yeah.
and then came the Black Codes or Jim Crow.
Yeah.
And all these hundreds of years, not just a few years, hundreds of years, to 65.
Yes.
Was it 1965, John? When I want to make sure that Martin Luther King had Lyndon Baines Johnson wrote in what is that law? Civil rights, gave us civil rights.
I think that was 65.
And
Let
the
me
Voting
check.
Rights Act.
The Voting Rights is 65, I think.
Right. So that's hundreds of years.
Well, everybody should look up the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, how they got started. Because black people were Republicans at one time, and most of them now are Democrats.
There's
and
still
I know,
a lot of them that's Republican.
Yeah, a lot of them still.
Tripping me out.
And but now a lot are going independent. And when you read your history about how black people were used by the Republican Party, and both parties right to this day are still using black people.
It was the Voting Rights of 1965. Yeah, Voting Rights Act in 1965. Okay.
Thanks, John. Can you put that picture up, the vote that I was showing you earlier? I hope it's not too light and that people can see it. This is called the first vote, and it was done by A.R. Waud, W-A-U-D. And it's a wood engraving, and it was done in 1867. And this is when black men, because as Ms. B was talking, the right to vote was back there in the 15th, 13th
Yes,
Amendment.
yes it was.
But
in the South.
in the South, yeah, black men only had the right to vote. Women didn't have it. Black women, none of them had the right to vote. But in this picture, you'll see where this guy, the first vote. That's really the name of it. It's got on there vote, but it's the first vote. And that's where it's a lasting picture to show you who's in that line, because it was just such an honor to vote. So keep that honor going. It is it's a right that was fought for. People died for it.
Yes, they did.
For you to vote. So get out, young people, and vote. Now, Miss B was talking about the that's it right there, the 15th Amendment to the Constitution granted black American men the right to vote by declaring the right of citizens of the United States to vote will not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition. So it's the 15th Amendment.
And there was a reason behind that, and it wasn't because of the goodness of anybody's nature. There was a reason behind it. Look it up for yourself. Find out. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party. I'm not knocking either one of them, but you can see how black people were used and abused again, even then.
And still today.
Okay, you better.
What?
Time.
Oh, and John ain't came out with nothing. We all right? When he come out, he'll do it over there.
I've got about a minute and a half, so a minute and a half.
You got about
Well, okay then. I was looking for you to come with a thing here. All right, let's shut it down, Miss B. All right. Satora's Black History Corner internet program comes to you via satellite at All Points TV. You can watch our program every second and fourth Monday of the month, unless the day falls on a holiday starting at 3:30 p.m. Also, be sure to watch what's going on. I'm going to stop saying this part of our closing because by now, after going on into 6 years, people know that we just went to All Points TV, so.
Okay.
Yeah, be sure to watch what's going on with political pundit Dr. George Moss every Monday at 2 p.m. And if you would like to get more information regarding Satora's Black History Corner's theme song, Be Proud to Be Black, you could contact TP Productions at 810-962-3258. 810-962-3258. Be proud to be black. That's our theme song. As always, I'd like to say thank you very much to all of you who have watched our program today. Oh, one more thing. Something new is happening on Comcast Channel 17. You can now begin watching allpointstv.com programs every Tuesday evening from 8:30 to 9:30. All right.
All right.
And also you can start watching through allpointstv.com on Channel 17. My program, God's Couple Blessings Youth Ministries, on Sunday nights at 9:30. And we hope to be on the 31st.
Okay.
Do you think, John, we'll be on the 31st?
I'm thinking that could be done, yeah, on the 31st, yep.
We'll be on the 31st, and I hope you tune in. And then the
Sunday?
transition will be completed.
That's a Sunday?
Except we're going to be tweaking. Did I get it right, John?
Tweaking the program, yes.
Okay, we're going to be tweaking the program till we kind of get the background and everything right. Because I was saying the wrong word. I was saying we're going to be twerking it. John had to correct me on that one. Okay. And we definitely hope that you learned something new and inspirational about our story. Make sure you get out and vote on Tuesday. That's next week, August the 2nd. We're in August. Wow. Ooh. They're already showing Christmas programs. Oh my God. If you don't vote, young people, you don't count. The only way we can make a lasting change, the only way you can make a lasting change for you, your next generation, because your children, you're going to have children. You're going to have children, and we don't want them to continue to be killed, murdered, or whatever. We don't want that happening anymore. So to make a lasting change is through voting, getting out your vote, but get out and vote.
Absolutely.
And change the laws federally, statewide, and locally. Then you got protection of the laws.
Right.
If you don't ruffle any feathers, things will always stay smooth. Until next time, as we like to always say, know that we are strong and resilient people, and that no one can keep us down. And I like this scripture, Romans 8:31. It's sticking with me. If God be for us, who can be against us? Also, to always be true to yourself, and to always keep on keeping on with us, Amani, which means peace. That was a sloppy.